Mental illness is behavior or mental state that is aberrant. And that changes over time, right? Like it changes based on what is normative. Remember that transgenderism was a mental illness, was. Homosexuality, mental illness. Being a woman, mental illness. All of these things were mental illnesses, and then some liberal fucking protesters come out and make them all normal now. There's an epidemic of mental illness. Maybe we're all supposed to be autistic, right? Like maybe we're all supposed to be there. Mental illness is aberrancy. Aberrancy is presumed to be somewhat harmful or bad, but that presumption isn't objective, it's subjective. It's subjective to normative behavior. So when they say that this great rewiring is causing an epidemic of mental illness, I mean, maybe, or it's an evolutionary state of normative behavior socially, right? Like, okay, let's do it this way. So transgenderism is a mental illness, affects less than 3% of the population. Transgenderism is a mental illness as we proceed. Well, it's 20% of the population. It's 50% of the population. Is it a mental illness still? I mean, I would say yes, but this guy would say no. What if it's 95% of the population is transgenderism, and you go through the, the puberty process or whatever, and then they find out that it's just so good to be trans, they mandate it at a certain place. They're like, no, this is normative. And then someone's born, they're like, I'm not trans though. And they're like, this is mental illness, right? Like that's how that goes. That's how mental illness works. Is it aberrant? Is it detrimental? It's mental illness, sure. But that doesn't mean that any change is automatically mental illness, or that a particular mental illness can't reframe what is normative. I mean, we have the French.